It's already time for the second ever video on this channel, and this video is going to be all about video editing, and specifically me breaking down a GoPro Hero 9 release video and what I learned from that. So if you're not interested in video editing, I'm sorry, because this video is not for you, but there is a ton of people that are interested in video editing, and this video is for you if that's you. Okay, so I've always had an interest in GoPro videos. The outdoor side of me just loves it. Yes, I know it can be a bit cheesy, but I think the epic vibes they put off with the music and stuff is well deserved. Those guys are often doing pretty crazy things, so I thought I would download my favorite one, which is the GoPro Hero 9 release video, and I would basically do a breakdown and I would see what I can learn from it. And as it turns out, I learned a fair amount of things from it, and they're actually really intentional with every frame. So this video is just going to be me sharing what I came across during my breakdown, and a lot of it is like things that happen within 2 frames, not 2 seconds, 2 frames, and I do believe they make a big difference to the video. So let's hop right into the first one. I do have a script. It's gonna help me stay on track. Okay, so we all know that you can make your video just overall better and more punchy, I guess you can say, by cutting on beat and cutting on action while also cutting on beat, like this section right here. And that's some pretty basic stuff. It's a normal part of editing. But GoPro uses another element. They go beyond just cutting on the beat. Throughout the entire video, they are intentional about when a cut should feel jarring and when a cut should feel smooth, when it should shake the viewer and when the viewer should see it coming. And a lot of that is done through motion. The best example for this is the first example I found when I did the breakdown, and that is right in the beginning. The GoPro is moving away from the viewer, away from the viewer, away from the viewer, down, 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 and then at the very last second, for a couple frames, it moves up and towards the viewer, which it just so happens to be that is the opposite direction of the following shot. They want it to be jarring. So my guess is they really wanted the GoPro to be dropped in water, and the editor just went, you know what, this cut isn't jarring enough, and he or she, whoever edited this video, props to them, I'm gonna have to find their name and put it here if I can. They knew that the cut wouldn't have enough punch and impact if the GoPro kept moving in the same direction. I mean, this makes a lot of sense because we do know that eye trace is one of the most important factors to video editing, and GoPro is just being very intentional with eye trace, going beyond just where the viewer's looking, but also realizing that your eye is looking in a certain direction, and if they cut that off and then suddenly do something opposite, that would be jarring. I do think we can take the ND filter off. Hey, no ND filter required. Okay, so next up is something that I'm calling a pre-hit. For all I know, this is a very common thing in video editing, and I'm just the only one that doesn't know about it. If that is the case, do drop it down in a comment, and while you're down there, don't forget to like the video, because it does help the video. Okay, watch this section.
Because I'm learning that a lot of my neighbors like to walk around their apartments naked. So.
Did you notice how they didn't cut on the beat? They cut on the second beat. And that's why I'm calling it a pre-hit. Okay, so here's what I think is going on. I think GoPro is being very intentional about not having the video be flat out jarring. It's a lot of cuts, it's all happening very fast, it's over the top music, and you would think the name of the game is for it to just be insane. I think little details like this is the difference between the viewer just feeling like the video is insane and like looking at it from the outside versus the viewer being engaged with the video and almost reading and anticipating what's gonna happen next. By having that hit happen but not cutting, I think it's setting up the viewer and saying, hey, in the next hit, there's gonna be a cut. And because the music does have a rhythm, it's pretty easy for your brain to pick up on when that cut's going to be. So the cut's not jarring, instead you anticipate it and you have this payoff. You feel engaged and almost like you're interacting with the video. That's my theory. Maybe it's a bunch of mumbo jumbo, I don't know. You'll notice that a lot of these details that I picked up on all have to do with eye trace. And I do think that's just because it's such a fast-paced video that the editors know they need to direct the viewer even more than typical. So the next point is what I'm calling commanding the eye. Forcing the viewer's eye, basically. Watch how we cut to this shot with the motorbike. 2 of them to be exact. They're trying to promote having hyper smooth on versus having it off. Watch how for a split second the top text moves up just a little. My theory is that this is creating hierarchy. It's grabbing your eye's attention because all the other text is standing still. It's grabbing your eye's attention and telling you to look there, then you look down onto on versus off, and then you look down onto the bike. The other theory is that it just so happens to be that the text is moving with the bike, and that's all that's happening. Okay, so another example of this is the text super view increasing and decreasing in size within 2 frames. It's literally happening in a split second, but that draws your eye to the super view text. Another example, the text 360 flickers for like a split second because in the previous shot you were looking at this text and now they want you to look at 360. These are all very small details, but they're directing the viewer's eye. I'm really trying hard not to make this sound like a lecture. I'm just sharing what I freaking learned. By the way, it's just an outline. I'm deviating from said script a lot. Okay, the final detail once again has to do with eye trace, and they were just setting up the viewer for the end. From this moment, all the following shots force your eye into the center of the frame, and it just so happens that the GoPro is in the center right at the end of the video. I think it wraps the video up quite well. So yeah guys, I hope you learned something new in this video. I really enjoyed doing this breakdown and I feel like I learned a lot. Yeah, I enjoyed making this video, so I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you next Friday. I have no idea what next Friday's video is going to be.